Hi everyone, it's just me, Kyia. Thanks so much for coming back. Thanks for continuing this journey with me. I really appreciate it. Okay, so this is episode 4. So let's continue on. We're driving back from Vegas. Remember, we won a nice amount of money, and he has decided he no longer wants to be an LAPD officer. So, okay, so the next thing we got home, we went about our day. We haven't told anyone yet that. Um, he has decided to resign from the LAPD. So this evening, we're over his parents' house, and his parents are hosting a talk game. So, as people we're waiting for people to come, we're having a nice time, and I always like the time games, just be me, and I'm all excited, and I always believe I'm going to win. I'm sure everyone does, because why play or why gamble if you don't think you're going to win? So it was a good night for me. So anyway, so as we're playing Tonk, and I think at this time, Kenny's no longer playing. He doesn't, he would give me money, X amount of money, and then I would play, and then he would play whatever he's going to play with and do whatever. So I think he got out of the game, and he's sitting over there kind of chilling. Kenny has never been a drinker. He can't handle like his alcohol or anything. So he's over there, and I just hear him. He's kind of chilling with his mother, and his mother, her drink was E&J. She loves her some E&J. Ooh, and she could throw it back. She can handle her. I can handle my alcohol too, but she can handle her alcohol. So at this point, remember, Kenny is mama's boy. So he's over there giving her some attention. She's a little, little tipsy. And so I'm at the table, but I can hear them talking. Excuse me. And she says, did you tell Kyia about your kids? Got to play it off, but no. Kids. So he made eye contact with me, right? So I'm like thinking, okay, I ain't gonna worry about that right now. I'm winning. And I'm the only girl still left at the table, because they invite a few people over. So I'm winning my little money. I'm like, okay, I'm winning my little money. But if y'all know me, I can't hold it in too long. So they got mad at me, because they always want you to they want you to continue to play to give them a chance to win their money back. But nah, I need to go talk. We kids. So I said, okay, guys, I'm out. I'm done. And they, I maybe played another 10 minutes or so, and I still was winning. So they said, you better come back or whatever. I said, I see, I'm tired or something. I said, I don't know what I said. So I got up, and I said, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I said, Kenny? So he already knew. So I get up from playing cards, and first I go to the bathroom, and then I met him in his room. It's just a small little 2-bedroom apartment. It ain't no problem. They probably heard us. I don't care. Don't know. So we go in the room. I said, what is your mother talking about kids? He said, I don't have no kids. And I said, well, what is she talking about? So this is when I find out. Remember Judy, his childhood Sweetheart. So evidently she's pregnant. Okay, but we said kids. We should have said pregnancies. And then, so he said, yeah, Judy says she's pregnant by me. I'm like, oh, like, how far along? Because we've been dating maybe at this time now. We're good. Still kind of quickly, 6, 7 months in. Probably about 7 months now in. And I said, really? So how far along, is she supposed to be, And of course, I think it was kind of the beginning. She was like in second trimester or something. And he said, yeah, she says it's mine. So I was like, okay. And then I'll go, it's plural. And he said, oh, okay. So this girl, Chantel, she states that she's pregnant by me as well, right at the exact same time frame. I'm like, well, damn. So we talked, and yeah, I was upset. I was disappointed. I know I guess I can use the word upset. I was very disappointed. And of course, because here it is, we're establishing something, and I truly, think maybe we're going somewhere with this. And I'm not pregnant. Mm-hmm. And that's really how I felt. Like, I kind of wanted to be in the mix, but at the same time, it was like, I want to be the only one that's having his baby, because I knew how family oriented they are. And then it's like, how him and his dad, I mean, if you see them, they look like twins. And, just that whole, and I'm only 20, so I want a baby. So anyway, we talked. I don't remember really how it was, but we established we're going to still be together. Mm. I say because once we came out, after we had our talk, I go back to playing Tom. I think well, maybe not at that time. I think it really was the next day that I could tell she was disappointed that didn't run me away. I can tell that. Okay, so anyway. So I went back to playing Tonk, and Kenny, he was done. He was just kind of chilling with his mother, and she was kind of what we call like on one. She was really on one. So he's trying to settle her down, and at this point, she is being disrespectful towards me, like as I am his woman. And she was saying things like, "Ooh, you and Judy, y'all gonna have a beautiful baby." And he kept saying, "Mom, stop, stop." But at this point, it doesn't bother me because I'm like, sometimes when you're unhappy with yourself, I know it wasn't me. Even at that time, even though it hurt my feelings, but I knew it wasn't about me. It was about her pain. It was about whatever is going on within herself. Um, and don't get me wrong, I was married to this man for 14 years, and we did have some little battles because it got to a point, hold up, but not this time. So she kept going, and Kenny kind of looked at me, and I just kind of don't worry about me. I worry about that. I'm winning some money. And he will always let me keep all my money that I won. He will let me keep it, and I be and even though it's a little house talk game, you leave out there, I'm shoot 400, 500. I think one time I won. They had a big talk game, and I was toe up. Not toe up, but I wasn't toe up like I was just like feeling good and feeling myself and getting on everybody's nerve because I'm a. That night I went home with $820, and this is a little bit further ahead in the story, but that's just my vibe. That's just, I don't even want to say lucky, but I guess in gambling, if Christian, you have to say lucky, but I really don't. I truly know the Lord has always, always, like, always been my focus, always in my spirit, always no matter what I've been through or go through in my life, I have a sense, I had and have a sense of Christ, 100%. And by the grace of God, I thank Him for that. And I always didn't quite understand it. I understand it a lot more now, and I will get more into that as the story goes on. It's more of like you relating into how Christ, how I know how He has always shown Himself. So at this point, I'm just kind of giving the story. But as we go along in this, I want to make it clear that I will be pointing out more diligently Christ in my perspective and how I feel at that time. Okay, so this is going on that day, and I went back to the table to give them a chance to prospectively win their money back, but they didn't. So Kenny, we were driving back to my grandmother's house at this time, and he made it very clear to me that, he wants to be with me. Okay, so let's just leave it there for now, because girl, we get into some things. Our guys, we get into some things. And okay, so anyway, so now we're seriously, really, really seriously talking about moving to Vegas. It's only been about a week and a half. So he goes in to his job, to the LAPD, and he tells them at this time that he's really thinking about resigning, but he didn't do it yet. And he said he did what you call where you just take a little leave, and he said something like he just really want to think about it or something like that. I don't know exactly what he told him. So anyway, this was our opportunity to go back to Vegas to really see and map out, can we afford and do we really want to move there? Okay, so it's about a week and a half later. He has another, I think, 4 days off from work or something. So we drive back to Vegas. And we get there, and it was just like before, just winning. I mean, we started looking into Keno and roulette, and we was like, we had more fun because now Kenny, this is second trip, so now he's really like into it. So we just couldn't lose. So our second day there, I went out. He wanted to, of course, keep gambling. So I went out and looked at apartments and see how much it would cost to like be there and live there. So if you guys know Vegas, right now it's called Rainbow Boulevard. But when I moved there, it was called Lorenz Boulevard. And now it's a big major street. Rainbow, it might be Avenue, Rainbow Avenue or something. It's a big major street. But this street, when back in 1990, it was called Lorenz. And it was all dirt. It was just desert and all that stuff. And then it was a newly development apartment complex, huge, like hundreds and hundreds, just huge on one side and one on the other side. There was nothing else in the surrounding, nothing else but dirt and mountains, and we were in the desert. So, and it wasn't that far. It was on off the N95. And so I found it, went there, brand new. So, oh my gosh, I'm going to put up picture. I know I keep saying that, but I really am. Nice 2-bedroom, 2-bath, just beautiful. And it was only $525 a month. Coming from LA, like, what? And it's like, shoot, I'm thinking we can afford that. And then the deposit, I think at that time it was like a special. It was like only a hundred. It wasn't but a hundred and something, a couple of hundred maybe. So I was like, man. So actually, it was the only one I saw. I only saw that one apartment. So I go back to wherever Kenny was, and I told him, I said, you gotta go see it. So we went to see. He's like, yeah, we moving here. While I was gone, I'm not even exaggerating. While I was gone, he had won $10,000 playing blackjack. I'm telling you, he got that gambler's mentality, and I was like, what? He's like, yeah. So I said, well, he didn't tell me then. He didn't tell me then. So I came back. I told him, I said, oh, I found this apartment and I really want you to come see it. He's like, let's go. He said, I was ready to get up because he had been gambling all that morning and afternoon or however long. So he hadn't told me yet how much he won. So I took him to see the apartment. He said, you like it? I said, I love it. I was like, it was the only one I seen, but I said, I love it. So he pulled out all this money. That's when I found out he won a little over $10,000, like just since I've been gone. He's like, how much? They was like, oh, so he paid that. He paid the deposit. I think he paid the month's rent, and he said, we'll be back. I'm like, gone, daddy. I didn't say that, but I was like, I said, you got that. So anyway, we stayed there. So we still had 2 more days there. So by the time we left, I don't know how much. It was a lot. We had a lot of money. I think, yeah, we had a lot of money. So we left. We went back, and now we got to tell everybody we're moving to Vegas. So this all is so quick. It had to be because I had my 21st birthday, September. Oh, I know the exact. We moved September 30th. September 30th, 1990. We moved to Vegas. So this is literally 2-3 weeks after my birthday. And my uncle and his wife, they're still married to this day. They got married on that same day, September 30th, 1990. We couldn't make their wedding. We was gone. And yeah. And at this time, me and my mom wasn't speaking. Yeah, we wasn't speaking. So she didn't know at that time. Okay, so anyway, so we moved to Vegas September 30th. And when I tell you, okay, wait, I gotta tell you guys. So before September 30th, we tell his mama. So we go over there, and it wasn't. As soon as we got back, it probably wasn't even it couldn't have been a week. 4 days. So we tell her 4 days before we're about to move, and we go over there. Remember when I told you how we was set up when the IA came bamming on the door? I'm sitting in the chair, got my little shorts on. I'm sitting in this chair. Can you sit in that chair? Mom and Dad. And I never called them Mom and Dad. And she's Miss Smith. Miss Smith. Anyway, Mom and Dad on this side. So Kenny starts out with, I got something to tell you guys. Or I don't know how he started. That's probably how I would have started it. But so he just kind of said, we're going to move to Vegas. His mother was, what? He's like, yeah, we're going to move to Vegas. And she looked at me, and I'm thinking, I ain't controlling him, And she looked at me, and I looked. Hi. She looked right at me, and then he said, I want to go to Vegas. And she was like, wait, are you transferring there? He said, He said, I resigned from the LAPD. Kyia, this is all your fault. This is all your fault. He would have never have done any of this if it wasn't for you. I'm sitting there like, thank you. I got that much control over him. Because I sure didn't know that. Okay, wow. I didn't say any of this. I'm just sitting there like dumbfounded. I'm like, no. But I'm like, you giving me that much control? You don't think he can think for himself? Didn't say any of that, of course. So she just blamed me for it all. She said, Kyia, he wouldn't have never done this if he wouldn't have met you. He would. I said, no, no, no. Then he said, no, Mom. He's like, I've never liked being a police officer. I don't like it. And I'm going to Vegas. So at this point, she was very upset. She was very upset with me. So at this point, he takes me back home, my grandmother's house, and he goes back because he hadn't been spending time there at all and talk, I guess, with his mother or whatever. And they worked it out, or he worked it out. I don't know what was said. So the next thing I know is about 3 days later, he comes to my grandmother's house, picks me up, and we go get the U-Haul. It's moving day, October 1st, moving. And then Kitty's birthday is October 14th. So he comes get me. And the next thing I know, when I got to his mother's house, he didn't tell me any of this. She was very nice to me. And she said, okay, I got some things for you guys. It wasn't for you guys. It was for him to make sure he had everything he needed. So she gave us like dishes. She gave us everything we needed to start, because she was the type of person, like every few years she would buy new stuff and redo her house, but she always kept things to give away and box it up and put it up. So she gave us a lot of little stuff to get our apartment, to get us started. So, whoa, it's 22. Gosh, times go so quickly. Okay, so we're driving. Okay, actually, I'm not even going to rush because that'd be a good ending point. So we get everything packed up, and she told me something like, you guys be careful. She's finally talking about us as a unit. You guys be careful and call me when you get there and let me know you got in. She's talking to me, both of us, but she's actually talking to me. And I'm like, okay, no problem, and stuff like this. And then she went upstairs. She gave me a hug, quick hug. She gave him a big hug. I don't, or whatever. And then so she went upstairs, and then Kent, gave us both a hug and went upstairs. So before we drove off, I'm like, what was that about? How, what just happened? Basically. So he said he had a talk with his mother and he let her know. I was like, well, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, I really want to throw something in there really quick. Okay, so we drive to Vegas. It was uneventful. It was a great, drive, and everything worked out, and we got, settled in and whoop to whoop. So 2 weeks later, so it's 24. So I got 6 minutes. So 2 weeks later, like I was saying, it was Kenny's birthday. So of course, we his mother want to be with him. This will be I'm 21, so he'll be 23. Yeah, 23. So we drove back home, so because she cooked him dinner. Kenny liked to eat, and his mama loved to feed him. So we drove back for his birthday. So this is what happened. So we're there, and we didn't get a hotel, and we stayed in the room there. And Kenny went somewhere. I don't know where he went. Him and his dad, they probably went to the racetrack or something. I'm not sure. So I'm there, and I'm just kind of in the living room, and then the phone rings. And I can hear her on the phone talking, but she's trying to be discreet, but not. And so, okay, I figured out it's one of the girls that's pregnant by Kenny. So she's on the kitchen phone. And so I kind of just got up and act like I went to the bathroom, but I went in her bedroom and picked up the extension. Yeah, I did. I sure did. I went and picked up the extension, and she was talking to actually Chantel. This is the, not Judy, the one his childhood sweetheart, but just like a woman like he was being with. So she doesn't hear me pick up the phone, and she's continually to talk to this young lady. And this is what I heard. So when I picked it up, I hear Chantel say, "Is she? Is she? Wait, why does he like her?" And the mom, yeah, she said something like, why does he want to be with her, or something. His mom said, I don't know. I don't know. He just, he likes a lot of women. And then she goes, well, when I have this baby, she bet not stop him from being involved or something like that. And she goes, oh, don't worry about that. No one's going to keep us away from my grandbaby. And then she goes, well, is she even pregnant? Is she going to have a baby? And then his mom goes, well, I don't know. She's not pregnant now. And then the girl goes, well, where are they now? And then she goes, well, then the mom goes, well, Kenny's not here, but I don't know, I think she's in a bathroom. She's here though. And then the girl goes, well, why is she over there? I said, because I'm his woman. I couldn't go on anymore. Why are they talking about me? I said, because I'm his woman. And then Dina go, Kyia, you on the phone? I go, yeah. And I said, I heard y'all talking about me. Why y'all talking about me? And then I go, Chantel, why you worried about where I'm at? I ain't said nothing about nobody. And she said, you just mad because you ain't pregnant. I said, girl, I said, I'm not mad. I said, I got him. And I said, evidently he don't want you. And then so Dina kept saying, Kyia, hang up the phone. Hang up the phone. And I was like, no. I said, y'all talking about me. I should be involved in this conversation. So I don't know if Dina hung up the phone or not, but she came in her room to find what extension I was on the phone. And I said, that's messy. I'm talking to Dina. I said, that's messy. I said, how disrespectful. And then so I just hung up the phone on Chantel. And I just looked at her with like, really? And I'm in my mind at this time, I'm thinking, you're very petty. And I'm like, and I can remember thinking, you ain't got no life. I didn't say any of these things. It's 28. I didn't say any of these things, but I walked out. I walked out her house and I just deep breathed and whatever. And then I came back. Guess who she's on the phone with again. So I'm just sitting there now. I was like, okay, I ain't gonna go pick up the phone, but I just sat there and started listening to the conversation. Her end, she couldn't talk comfortably, but as I walked in, she started telling her, well, they're together, so. And I was like, okay, whatever, I'm done. So Kenny comes home or comes there, and I just said, I'm tired of this. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm not going to be here. I said, this is not cool. So anyway, so I just wanted to tell that little part. Okay, so it's almost 30 minutes. But anyway, I know you, I promise you, I'm enjoying it. I hope you are. It's just Kyia. And you're just going to see all these things transpire that God has got me. He has got me every step of the way. Okay, so everyone, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciated it. Girl, y'all know I'm hood. I can't talk that way. But I love it. I enjoy it. Thanks for coming in, joining me, and spending this time with me. I really do appreciate you and all that you do. May we inspire, encourage, and challenge each other. Please, guys, subscribe. Don't miss an episode. It gets better and better, and it's already good to me, but I hope you guys are enjoying it. So thank you. Until next time. And actually, episode 5 will be out right away after this one. So look out for that one. And let's go through this journey together, learning from each other. Have a great day. Appreciate you. You know, I gotta look for this